Emperor Xiu Yin of the Wei dynasty built this temple 15 centuries ago to welcome the first monks arriving in China from India to teach Buddhism. Since he was 11, DeYang has dedicated his life to Zen Buddhism, or Chan in Chinese. For DeYang, life is only a stage between birth and death. Buddha found a way to break the endless cycle of birth, death and rebirth, which has continued since time began. He achieved enlightenment, and at last experienced absence of pain, beatitude in destruction, nirvana. DeYang is following this path. He wants to reach enlightenment, which in time will permit him to become Buddha, to become pure spirit. The monks follow the teachings of Buddha in the sutras. The legend explains that these scriptures brought from India by a monk were swallowed by a fish during the journey, so the chants are accompanied by the rhythm of the muyu, an instrument shaped like a fish. The Indian monk Bodhidharma reached Shaolin in the year 527. He caught the imagination of the Chinese by spending 9 years meditating, facing the wall of a cave. His shadow imprinted itself in this rock, reverently preserved in the temple. He brought Zen Buddhism to Shaolin. The Zen school teaches its disciples the techniques of meditation and introspection to prepare them for enlightenment, which everyone can experience. It can happen like a burst of light. Zen awakens spiritual wisdom through mastery of the body, honed by long periods of meditation. Kung Fu evolved from exercises used to reawaken the body from its dormant state. Zen makes the body soft as silk, as light as a feather, as supple as forged steel. Shaolin combines the Indian techniques of yoga with Chinese Taoist exercises. These movements produce suppleness and good health by harmonizing the breath and the flow of energy in the body. Exercises are always followed by long periods of meditation in the outdoors. By making contact with the earth, man draws energy in its purest form, the qi, which gives him the strength to pass from meditation to action. Suxi is the temple elder and the oldest master. he continues to pass on his teachings. His life work is a collection of sacred Shaolin texts. The old manuscript had to be rewritten after its destruction in 1928 during a fire caused by local warlords.
搬入那个老虎头，手扣住他牙关，手扣住牙关，牙关给他扭过去，牙关就是一扭，扭过去，就给他头扭过去。好，小价值意思也就是说，可是我现在往往有犯个啥毛病呢？价值好犯那个变大类的方向性错误。咋样才能很好的纠正呢？纠正是那得下手那得捏，那下手捏，小面出身，小身体，越数越小，身子上身子要伸直。咱做个这个，造的是这个马步，我往往有的时候站不稳，你看这样，站不稳，脚要往里勾，手脚往里勾，腿要放平，身子往这样做，胳膊长有点大，再小一点，
The Indian sage Bodhidharma is regarded as the first Shaolin master. To this day, his teachings are passed on from master to pupil. Suxi, the elder, represents the 30th generation of masters. He survived the Cultural Revolution and re-established Shaolin monks and their traditions.
我们出家人啊，就是如同这个父子关系一样，就是相当于社会上那个爸爸和儿子。在我们中国有一句俗话嘛，叫做师徒如父子，就是从我们这个出家的这个感情就说明我们这个师傅和徒弟之间的这个亲密感情。教主释迦牟尼流传法纪。
Buddha believes that humans and animals have the same origins. A human can be the reincarnation of an animal and vice versa. From this belief come the Shaolin fighting styles that mimic animals. These styles are based on religious introspection and the observation of animals themselves. The eagle technique mimics an eagle swooping on his prey. This technique exploits the opponent's weak points by making treacherous attacks. Shaolin was once surrounded by forests, and monks could observe the wild animals in their own environment. Shaolin's isolated mountain location made it the perfect target for looters and invaders. At first, the monks had only their bare hands and heavy prayer beads to defend themselves.
珠宫。这个佛珠宫平常看作是我们出家人念经用的佛珠，但是在这个念经之余，身体困倦的时候，可以用来锻炼身体。
Shaolin is strategically situated on the slopes of Mount Shoshen, dominating the fertile plains of the Yellow River. In neighboring villages, physical training is a regular part of country life. This is the origin of Tai Chi, which prepares an entire population for combat. For centuries, Shaolin was at the center of all China's civil wars. Because of its religious tolerance, it became a haven for defeated soldiers and banished officers. These refugees taught their military skill to the monks in exchange for knowledge of martial arts. For some disciples, Shaolin was simply a traditional military organization. For others, it was a secret society. Discipline enabled these men to survive all the wars. During the Cultural Revolution, Shaolin was forgotten and its masters scattered. Today, 60 monks are ready to make any sacrifice to protect their temple. In the 7th century, Shaolin masters saved the Chinese emperor. The temple walls tell the story. In Shaolin, 13 monks trained in great secrecy to save Li Xiaomin, emperor of the Tang dynasty. On these flagstones, worn from centuries of use, their distant descendants repeat the same movements. They come to absorb the spirituality of this place. At Shaolin, two extremes coexist. Meditation as calm as water, and violent action like raging fire. Wind, rain or snow, the monks rise at 4 in the morning. The day always begins the same way, with meditation. At daybreak, monks gather in the forest of the pagodas, where all the masters since the founding of the temple are buried. The first exercises warm up and awaken the body to give it sensitivity and suppleness before the action begins. secrets of the monastery, we must share the monks' daily routine. By their own admission, their secret lies in 3 rules. Rise early, go to bed late, work and more work. Kung Fu draws its power from the Qi, the inner energy. Qigong is the training method that draws on this energy to forge a hard shell against pain. Qigong frees them from pain inflicted by the adversary, leaving the mind clear to think, and thus to win. Meditation under great difficulty trains the fighter to transcend pain and prepare his next move. According to the ancients, Qigong breathing exercises not only encased the vital organs in a type of armor, but rendered them impervious to wounds. Before the invention of firearms, these men were invincible. Zen Buddhism blends action and meditation. It can be spontaneous and also deliberately provocative. This suits the down-to-earth Chinese temperament. In a secret place, in the only part of the original monastery still standing, DeYang receives training from Suyun. His skills are unique, as he is the only master of the 30th generation still capable of physical activity. Even at the age of 82, he rises at 2 in the morning to maintain his suppleness and to meditate.
悟不了的，因为那悟了老啊，他身体又不好，身体有病，治不好，也不了的。但是这个坐禅呢，也是一种功啊，它属于是静功，禅禅梦这属于动功。
Zen is performed without elaborate trappings or a place of worship. It needs only direct intuition arising from meditation. Zen has transformed the original Indian Buddhism into a ritual adapted to the practical Chinese sensibility. Every follower must aim at forgetting the constraints of the physical world to achieve enlightenment.
只是这个脑筋，他往往对这个动物这个禅不会了解。其实这个禅是很普通、很平常的。这个禅就是在我们这个生活中可以说是无处不现的。你比方说我们吃饭，行住坐卧。
That is why physical training continues during meals. The horseman position recalls the time when early masters fought on horseback to maintain order in the empire. It's a position to test the novice's endurance. In the same spirit, the rule is to pay homage to the master by serving him from the Shaolin teapot. It weighs 50 kilos. Empty. The teachings and the temple journal are written in calligraphy. The Spartan life of the fighting monks demands rigorous and advanced training. At about 10, children have their heads shaved, a sign of their lifetime commitment. Most of the novices come from poor rural backgrounds, some from the monks' own families. Intensive training to harden the body precedes religious instruction.
你想我们的寺院一共有4个秘密练功场，这4个秘密练功场，一般人是根本走不到那个地方，即使是走到那个地方，他们也不知道那是秘密练功场。
Students of martial arts refer to intense Shaolin Qigong, a technique of self-transcendence. It requires several years of training, a minimum of 3 to 4 hours per day. At that rate, the head can become an anvil and the arms hammers. When it was established, the monastery was a haven for the first Buddhists and for a throng of persecuted peasants. It became a meeting place for everyone seeking truth or refuge. In the 8th century, monks selected a reforming master, Huang Nong. Once an illiterate butcher's assistant, he entered the order after hearing a sutra recited by a monk. He finally became the 6th Zen patriarch. Following the rescue of Emperor Li Shamin, an army was established in the monastery. The monks became experts in knife fighting and in other, more secret, highly efficient methods. These fighting techniques and weapons have inspired a new film genre. When DeYang visits the Shaolin villages, he is careful to answer their questions, especially those regarding the differences between his monastery and others. At Shaolin, traditional medical practices can quickly put sick or wounded monks back on their feet. Their effectiveness comes from a profound knowledge of plants. Master DeYang has devoted his life to these remedies.
然后呢，把这个肉给它戳开，戳开，把它，在这里，哎，就是用这里边那个壶，哎，用这个，哎，用这个，
用它，
哎，用这个，用这个壶啊，操半数，操一操啊，这个一喝，这个脑子就清晰了。
以后，脑子就不再混了，就可以清晰了。
另外就是说心跳，心慌，将这个一吃，心里就。这个药呢，主要是用这个前草，特别是根儿。前草。要用的时间把它这样挖开，哎，这样挖开。啊。挖开。
它这个根儿能起什么作用？
哎，像这个根儿啊，把它个。 洗干净以后，然后用刀把这个都给它去掉，然后把它洗干净以后，那么刀切片切成片以后，比如说晚上喝，明天就好；上午喝，下午中就消了。
哎呀，有那么大的神奇效果！
这是喝，另外呢还可以把它将这个药水可以洗，药水来洗一洗，还可以把它碾成面。
那你说它有这么好的效果，这个那我得放着，我再拿回去放着将来留着用。
这对称法师给我看的一个秘方，
那我这放着将来有用的话好用。
Today, Shaolin is on the pilgrim's trail for all martial arts masters, religious or not. They come in search of the Shaolin spirit, like this old kung fu master.
现在有3、4千人
啊，4000多人，
可以说是在咱的中国来讲，民办的武术学校。
About 20 martial arts schools with secular masters have become established around the monastery. They train 20,000 youths a year in Kung Fu Wushu. Here DeYang himself trains the children of his village.
挺好，立起来，腿抬起来，才能放在这里。啊，3、4、1、2、3。
Reaching the pinnacle of their art, some monks may decide to leave the monastery to teach on the outside. They must pass through the mountain door. These departures are rare, as the monastery is not anxious to spread its knowledge. This ritual is a recreation of a tradition that existed during the temple's days of glory.
If 如果明天有一场战争的话，你是不会参加这场战争去，比方说杀人呐？
现在这个战争不需要我去参加战斗了，我需要的是天下太平。